Hey players, welcome to Political Tea Talk. So excited to be back. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus. My kids were out of daycare. That means I couldn't come see y'all and I couldn't bring on any awesome guests. So I am so excited to be back and live here on YouTube where I can see you guys commenting and talk back, because with my podcast, I don't get to see what y'all got to say, especially when I crack a joke and I be looking for those laughs and they're not there. And it kind of sucks. I just kind of, just look to myself like, why the hell am I laughing at myself? But I got to do something. So I'm so glad to be with y'all, and I hope y'all are glad to be here too. I got some repeat offenders on Political Tea Talk today that have been here before, and they're going to be back again and again and again and again and again, because they promised me that anytime I need them, they will be coming back. And I'm going to tell you all that their episode that they were on was actually one of my most watched episodes, after the one with right before the one with Under the Desk News. So I wanted to bring them back and, spit some ooey gooey and talk about this political tea, because it's been real this week. I'll just introduce them briefly. We have over here, we have the Fearless Queen on TikTok. She's FearlessQueenMel on TikTok. And then down here at the bottom, we have Pookiebear73, the shooter. So make sure you guys go and follow them on TikTok. And I'll just give Fearless Queen an opportunity to tell us about any other social media platforms or anything that she wanted to discuss.
I am on Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat. So make sure you follow me and all of my links are in my bio.
Awesome. And Pookiebear, your turn.
TikTok, Facebook, Instagram.
Y'all make sure y'all go and support and follow them, because these are two talented creators that have some really awesome opinions. And I think that we're kind of getting out of this shit that we went through on TikTok, where everybody was getting banned and post banned. I think they kind of found out what they wanted to do, because I haven't seen so much of that in the last couple of weeks. So I think that maybe they worked that out. I don't know. But make sure you guys go and follow and support. And make sure you like this video and follow my YouTube and Facebook if you're not following, okay? So the first thing that we're going to talk about this week is the President Biden yesterday. COVID is it's running amok, and it's getting bad. I remember back in the pandemic when we hit 1 million cases, I looked and I was like, damn, this is really real. This is terrible. Right. And I looked at that and I was like, what the hell are we going to do? And now we are at 40 million cases again. After we kind of got that number down, we're at 40 million cases. We have over 101,000 people that are in ICUs and hospitals somewhere, so bad that they're overrun. With people, they can't even let people in that have heart attacks. You go in there for a car wreck or something. Well, your arm is freaking falling off. They don't got nowhere to put you because they got all of these COVID patients in there. And then they're also having staff shortages and stuff, because people don't want to get vaccinated and such, and of course other things. So President Biden laid the hammer down yesterday and said that he had to do something. And he had this message to unvaccinated Americans, and I would like for you all to hear it and see what you all think of it. Come on, Tim.
My message to unvaccinated Americans is this: what more is there to wait for? What more do you need to see? We've made vaccinations free, safe, and convenient. The vaccine has FDA approval. Over 200 million Americans have gotten at least one shot. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin, and your refusal has cost all of us. So please do the right thing. But just don't take it from me. Listen to the voices of unvaccinated Americans who are lying in hospital beds, taking their final breath saying, if only I'd gotten vaccinated. If only. It's a tragedy. Please don't let it become yours.
I'm a vaccinated American that wears a mask and social distance and does what I do to try to slow the spread. And that actually touched me when he was standing there talking. Now, the question that I have to you, the fearless queen, do you think that it will touch any part of an unvaccinated America?
Not really. I think that they've dug their claws in. I think that this is my opinion of what has happened here, especially in the Bible Belt and super religious regions of America. Their politics and their religion have been so closely intertwined. In the Bible Belt, pastors actually teach from the pulpit that if you are a Christian, you have to be Republican. And so if I know, honey, I know. Let me tell you right now, it's funny. But if this was made a political issue when it never should have been, and shame on everyone who did that. We all know who they are, and I'm not even going to speak his name because it ain't worth coming out of my mouth, to be honest with you. But they view this as a religious issue now, and they're dug in, and they're not going to, I don't foresee any of them giving in and getting, not many. I want to be an optimist, and naturally I am, but on this, I mean, I live in Appalachia. I hear what they're saying.
Pookie, I would love to know your opinion. Do you feel like that will reach some unvaccinated Americans and get them to get vaccinated?
I don't. I think it'll hit some of the fence straddlers. They will go ahead and get over the hump and do it. But for the large part of the unvaccinated folks in the country, just like Fearless Queen was saying, it's baked in. It's baked into their politics, it's baked into their religion. And I don't believe that his message yesterday is going to resonate with any of those folks. Unfortunately, they are stuck right where they are. I ask myself this question all the time. I'm fully vaccinated, and at this moment, my 12-year-old is getting his second vaccine right now. Probably, no, he just received it. He should be home in a minute. We've been waiting for that. So I'm happy that my home is vaccinated. I'm happy that we're doing everything we can to slow the spread. But I asked myself this question: if Trump had won in November, would I be anti-vax or vaccinated? Because when he started talking about Operation Warp Speed, I wasn't real fond of it. I was afraid of the idea of a vaccination coming from his administration. I got comfortable with it when Joe became president because I trusted his message. And I think that's what's going on with a lot of these folks in the Bible Belt and red states. They just don't trust Joe's messaging, regardless of whether it's good for them or not, regardless of where it comes from. So I don't believe that his message, what he put out yesterday, is going to change their mind at all.
I can agree with that. And I really agree with that. I don't think that it would touch people. I mean, for Pete's sake, you got people taking ivermectin. You know what I'm saying? And they're not even taking the prescription. They're taking the kind that you would give to your horse. So there's going to be some people that it may touch and say, hey, let me go ahead and get vaccinated. But for the majority, we're at 52% of Americans that are fully vaccinated. That is very low to create herd immunity. So it's unfortunate. I really don't know what the Biden administration, they've tried giving people money. They've tried, getting vaccinated in front of the camera, letting people know. And what you said, Pookie, I really wanted to expound on that. If Trump had still been in office, would have been an anti-vaxxer based on his messaging. And I'm going to say to you that I would have waited like I did this time because I waited. I am immune compromised. I am a cancer survivor. I had COVID. I had cancer. And I still, against the advice of my doctor, I actually waited several months to get the vaccine to see what it was going to do, see what people were going to be experiencing before I actually got it. And it's just that distrust. And also, there's a lot of distrust within the Black community regarding the healthcare field. So I think that people who have this distrust for the vaccine, it's been more than enough time for you to make a decision and actually see some results of there's 40 million people that are that have COVID. Under 1% of them are actually vaccinated people, and then less than that are people that actually died from a breakthrough case of COVID. There's been more than enough time for you to make that decision. So because of that, President Biden decided to issue some mandates of sorts. He fell short of doing a full out mandatory, you got to be vaccinated and that's it. But he actually went through each administration in at least each agency within his administration, and they found ways that they could institute these mandates. And one of these actually affects 100 million Americans. So we'll just go through for people who don't know what some of these are. And the first one was the U.S. Department of Labor, Occupational Safety and Health Administration is developing a rule that will require all employers with 100 or more employees to ensure their workforce is fully vaccinated. Or if they don't want to get vaccinated, they have to produce a negative COVID test. That's going to affect a lot, like Amazon, Walmart, these big prisons, all of these places. They're going to have to be vaccinated. And if they use in the COVID rule, when you had COVID and your employer had to pay you or whatever, if you had more than a certain amount of employees, I believe it was 400. If you had more than 400 employees, you didn't have to pay your employee for being off with COVID. Mm-hmm. So if if they don't want to comply with this portion, then they shouldn't have complied with the part where that you could refuse your employees pay based on how many employees that you have. He also instituted. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say personally, I think that's a fair option.
Yeah.
I mean, to say you can do either or, that's a fair option. Either produce me a negative test every week, or get the vaccine, because you can't have it both ways. You can't say I don't want a vaccine, I don't want to get tested, I don't want to wear a mask. Now you're affecting everybody. Your freedom is affecting my freedom. So these large companies, they can afford to bring a nurse on and take advantage of the next part of President Biden's mandates, which was they're going to have invest $2 billion in 280 million rapid point of care and over-the-counter at-home coronavirus tests. So they're going to invest in those, and then you can buy those at cost for the first 2 months. So they're not from Amazon, Walmart, and it was a couple of other places. I done lost that darn page, but I remember Amazon and Walmart was two companies that you will be able to buy those tests at cost. So that's the way that employers could do that. And also, if they don't do it, they will be fined. If they don't do it, they will face fines. Okay. The next one is he had the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services will require COVID-19 vaccinations for workers in most healthcare facilities that receive Medicare and Medicaid reimbursements. That includes hospitals, dialysis centers, ambulance services, and home health agencies. That's a good one. It should be.
Mm-hmm.
It should be. If you're around people, especially medical care and especially seniors, you should be vaccinated. There should be no debate about it. It comes with the job.
Yeah.
You know, about the military getting vaccinated. There's a whole line of vaccines that the military has to get before they can even join.
Mm-hmm.
They'll mention the Bible Belt and the Republicans down there in the Bible Belt. I bet you when it's time to go on a mission trip to go down to Ecuador,
they get them, honey. They get them.
You got to get vaccines for that too. I bet you they line up for that, because now we're going for God. So
they're going on a paid vacation that they call a mission trip. Yeah.
Exactly. The next one that he had was that affects schools. The administration will require that teachers and staff in Head Start programs, Department of Defense schools, and Bureau of Indian Education operated schools to be vaccinated. I thought that was a good one because these children under the age of 12 cannot get vaccinated. So I felt like that was good. What do you think, Queen?
I'll be honest with you. I think the entire way that he's going about this is brilliant. I'm a fan. And I'm not always a fan of his policies, but when it comes around this, it's smart, because these employers were backing their employees until they have to start paying them $14,000 a head. And then they're going to be real shocked how quick they don't give a crap about them and how quick they have them replaced.
Correct.
And it's the only way. If we don't do something, this is never going to end. And it can end. We've watched other countries do it time and again.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think it's brilliant. I love it all. I would have supported vaccine passports though. So
That there should be a vaccine database.
Mhm.
As a business owner, I require my clients, they have to get vaccinated to come to my. I should be able to go online somewhere and type in their name, and it doesn't have to give me information. All it has to do is just say yes or no.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or just no, or if their name isn't found, that's all I need. There should be a
Mm-hmm.
database.
Yeah.
And I especially want to know what healthcare workers are not vaccinated, because I'm also
Right.
immunocompromised. I have lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. I don't want nurses that taking care of me. And there are a myriad of them here.
Yeah.
Anti-science healthcare workers.
Mm-hmm.
How many times you see Nurse Tough Love and all of them on TikTok taking down some nurse that was anti-vax? How many times?
I love
And spewing bullshit. How many times have we seen that? So the next one that he had was large gatherings. He would call on entertainment venues like sports arenas, large concert halls, and others where large groups of people gather to require patrons to be vaccinated or show a negative COVID test to enter. So I like that one as well. TSA is going to double the fines of first-time offenders who fail to wear masks effective today. And repeat offenders could face fines up to $3,000. So
lay it on.
that lay it on thick.
Hit them.
I feel like it was a step in the right directions. I feel like that he went within his scope, but I feel like at the end of this, it's gonna definitely require more. I think it's gonna end up where it's like a shot record where we had to get vaccinated for chickenpox and polio and stuff like that to go to school. I think it's going to be the same exact thing that's going to be required at the end of the day. And these places that they like to go and travel to, they're all going to be requiring that you get vaccinated. Like Hawaii already has their safe travels program, where in order to come there, you have to be vaccinated. You also have to show your vaccination card, and you have to provide a negative COVID test. And sometimes, in some cases, they will make you quarantine up to a certain amount of days. So you can't even start enjoying your vacation until you've been there for a certain amount of days. That's crazy.
My son and daughter-in-law just came back from Maui. They were there last month, and he's a nurse. He's a registered nurse, and he's a travel nurse now. And they were so impressed because they were like, it's $125 fine if you are outside of your house without a mask on. Like, they're not playing about it. They're done. And I'm like, okay, can we please all follow suit, because I'm about sick of this.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand why people won't do this for their children. I want my kids are 2 and 3, man. I want them to go experience a Halloween where they can, trick or treat normal. I want them to be able to just go somewhere and not have to put on a mask and just walk in the store and not see people's smiles. We should be there now. We should be there now if people would have done what they were supposed to do and stop all this misinformation and malarkey that's going on. And I think that it's ridiculous. And I think that President Biden, like Fearless Queen said, I think he went about it the correct way. And although I think that he's going to have to eventually go further. Anybody have anything else to add? Okay. Yeah, he will. So the next thing that we'll talk about, guys, is we'll go over to the Florida mask mandate. The Florida mask mandate, it was Judge Leon Cooper. He actually threw that mask mandate out, the mask mandate ban. He actually threw it out. Well, today, the Florida mask mandate ban is now back on. So the First District Court of Appeals ruled Friday that Tallahassee. Let me start over.
I got you.
The First District Court of Appeals ruled Friday that that Judge Leon should not have lifted an automatic stay, and said that it halted the enforcement of mask mandates and it put children at risk. They said that the Department of Education has a right to remove funds from any school board that is enforcing a mask mandate against the advice and the executive order of Governor Ron DeSantis. So, they're going to continue to impose these financial penalties on these 13 school boards that currently are defying the mask mandate. And they're also going to be docking their salaries. And that's all it is to it. That's what they're going to do. Ron DeSantis is celebrating right now. He said that his spokesperson said in a tweet that the rule requiring all Florida school districts to protect parents' rights to make choices about their masking their kids is back in effect. They were celebrating. So
I've seen very few people in a professional capacity show such a hatred of their own citizens as Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott. They have gone above and beyond out of their way to show every citizen of their states that they despise them and that they want them all to die. And I really just wish they'd stop electing these men.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you not show any care for the kids? They're getting infected. You don't know what the long-term effects of COVID-19 on these children are going to be. 251,000 children have been infected with COVID within the first 2 weeks of school. You hear me? 251,000 children are infected with COVID. And you do not know what the long-term effects are going to be. You don't even know what the long-term effects are going to be on a grown person, let alone a child with a soft brain, that's still developing. I mean, this is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And I said this on my podcast, but I'm going to say this again because I want to say it to you guys. Here in Louisiana, we have a mask mandate in schools. Our governor don't play that shit about this COVID. He's doing what he got to do to try to stop it. Once it started ticking up, he said, fuck that, we got to do something. So he actually instituted a mask mandate here in schools. We have a case every now and then here, but guess what? You do not see us having whole school districts shutting down. You don't see us having 50,000 freaking students infected. Masks do work. Why can't they look at these places that have these mask mandates and see that they are having a success rate? Having a case here or there, or even a case a day or something like that, where someone gets infected with COVID. It's not the same as having 50,000 students in 14 days. That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy to me.
Right.
Okay, I want to know your thoughts on that.
Here in Illinois, there's a mask mandate for schools, and I'm thankful that Chicago creates that we're a blue island in a red state. Chicago is, but there's so many people packed here. The state is really blue, but downstate Illinois, it's the same thing as going on in some of those other states. But we have a mask mandate here, and I'm thankful for it because we get a little email every now and again. There's a student or two students that have tested positive, but our kids have to wear masks, and I'm thankful because one, every year before the mask even came along, before COVID came along, every year about this time when our kids go back to school, somebody's always homesick from whatever,
Yep.
or pink eye. My youngest boy who's getting vaccinated right now came home with freaking German measles because somebody hadn't been vaccinated. And I'm like, what the hell? So the either it's, how are we debating this? How are we debating, okay, we've got to create vaccine mandates in school, but they're still down here fighting mask mandates. You can't have it all both ways. You got to do one or the other. It's simple as that. It's simple as that, DeSantis. You got to do one or the other. You got to either get the mask, get the test, or get the vax. We can't get rid of it unless you do some of that.
Correct. And somebody just said in the comments, I'm going to put this up here because that's right. They don't want to admit that they are wrong. That is 100% true, Michelle. Thank you so much for that comment. I appreciate that. They don't want to admit that they're wrong, and it's really sad, and they're costing people their lives. The long-term effects of COVID, we don't know what the hell is going to go on, and they need to do something about this. I feel like President Biden, maybe he could, issue saying that they all got to wear them. Maybe he needs to step in and do this. I don't know, but Applehead Abbott and DeSantis are freaking insane. And a lot of other, it's not just them too, but hell, they lead the pack. They lead the charge because they want to be president. They are literally playing politics with children and their lives and whatever effects that COVID may have. I don't like it, and I'm disgusted by it. I wish that something would change immediately because I don't like the sound of I don't like the what's going on with these children. Children are our future, and we don't need them because they had COVID, ended up, having something go on with them in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So that's what. Go ahead, Pookie.
I was just gonna say, these guys, DeSantis and other Abbott, they're auditioning. They're auditioning to be Trump's running mate if he runs, or the front runner if he doesn't run.
Mm-hmm.
And this is their audition tape. This is their interview right now to that base. Here we stand and we hold the same thoughts and values as Trump. So select us, make us kings for a day or whatever it is. But that's why I appreciate Joe, because he's not afraid to admit where he's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say it. He'll admit where he's wrong. Again, I don't agree with everything that he does. I feel like he wasted a lot of political capital, but hey, that is what it is. But he will admit when he's wrong. He'll rock the baby when he makes it, and he'll wipe it up if he's got to. And that for me goes a long way.
Hey, we're gonna button that up on that comment. I swear that was it. That was good.
That was it.
Button that up. We're gonna button that up on that one. So the next thing we'll talk about, guys, is although we got all this bullshit going on in these other states, we have the liberal state of California. I'm going to say progressive. In Los Angeles, their unified school district officials said that they want to guarantee that children attend classes in person, not online, which is why they voted on Thursday to require vaccinations against COVID-19 for all eligible students, in a move that was praised by the teachers union and many parents. So that is a good thing. Not only do they have a mask mandate, but they also mandated that children that can get vaccinated. And the stipulation with that is that the children that are in sports and extracurricular activities should get vaccinated in October timeframe, while the rest of the students should receive their first and second vaccine dose no later than the month of November and December.
I support it wholeheartedly.
I'm excited. I'm happy about that. I think that it's a good step in the right direction. I'm glad that they're doing it for 12 and older, letting them get the vaccine, because there's been enough data there. Today, they actually said that there hasn't been enough. The CDC announced that there hasn't been enough data on 5 and older children to say that they can get vaccinated. So that's the reason why it's still at 12 and older. So I would like to know, if you have a child in school, well, Pookie's already said that. Fearless Queen, would you want them to mandate that those kids get vaccinated to be in schools?
100%. I am actually the second year of homeschooling my kids because I do live in a red stronghold, and they won't mask and they won't get vaccinated. It's a 22% vaccination rate where I live. They won't wear a mask and they won't get vaccinated. I would freaking love it. I would love that. It'll never happen here with the leadership that we have, but I would love it. Both of mine are already fully vaccinated, so.
Pookie, I already know you agree with that, so.
Oh, hell yeah. Listen, my 12-year-old is on his way in the door in a few minutes with his vaccine, and I'm excited. We had a little scare a couple of weeks ago. My cousin came over here with his 10-year-old. Text us 4 days later, hey, he tested positive. Y'all need to go get tested. And I got a half-vaxxed kid in my house, and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm freaking afraid. He got sent home from school for 7 days because he had been exposed but hadn't been fully vaxxed at that time. Thankfully, everybody came back negative, which was good. But the problem is, it's like that little pocket, kids under 12 years old, you got to watch out because they can catch it and pass it quicker than anybody. And part of the problem in this damn country right here, right now, is that there's no national response to this. Biden is trying to create a national response, but if California is mandating masks and vaccines, And Florida is still fighting on whether the kids should wear masks. That's not national. And then when people are traveling back and forth, it's just carrying it, moving it back and forth, back and forth. We got to get on the same page. We got to get on the same page. I don't give a damn what state you're from. I don't care who you pray to, who you vote for. We got to get on the same page with this, because COVID don't care what color skin you have. It don't care where your religious affiliation. It don't care how much money you got. It'll jump on you. And when the damn thing jump on you, it'll hold you tight. Now, what does make a difference with your skin color and your financial ability is how you get taken care of. But that's a whole nother topic in and of itself.
Exactly. That is a whole nother topic. I agree with you all sentiments. I think it's a good thing. Now with my son, I would have to talk to his healthcare professional. He's got a little, it's always good to talk to your doctor to find out what's good for you. I always talk to your doctor and find out if you are on the fence about the vaccine. Don't be hitting the Googler when you don't know what the hell you're supposed to be Googling. Even though Googling is free, it doesn't always pop up the correct information. You can't be getting all your news from from whoshotjohn.com. You need to go over to the CDC and check what's real. You need to go over to, these official websites and read. And if you cannot do that, and find that the relevant information, then you need to talk to somebody that can help you. Don't just go by, what other people are saying. You need to do the research for yourself. And, I agree with Los Angeles wholeheartedly. I think that school is going to be the blueprint of how a school could look if people actually, vaccinated and, and done the things that they need to do. So that was a step in the right direction. So now we're going to move on. We're going to button it up right there. We'll move on to ivermectin and what is going on. I have an example of a case that I wanted to tell you all about. As we know, these people are not wanting to take the vaccine, but they would love to take that horse bug drug. That is what I call it on Tickety Talk, because every time I make a video about ivermectin, they flag my shit. So I turned it into the horse bug drug, okay? And every single time I make a video about it, hell, I go viral because people love to hear about these dumbass people. So these people are running around, even though the CDC said that it is not a treatment for COVID. You got doctors prescribing it. You got people going in and getting this ivermectin off the shelf so much that these pet store is actually putting signs on there saying, hey, you got to have a picture of you with your horse before you can buy this shit. I can't let you just walk up out of here with it. You got to show me proof that you got a horse. So it's thick out there. Y'all seen a couple of videos on TikTok where dude was putting that shit on his tongue, just taking it straight out the little thing and licking it and putting it on his tongue. I was like, damn, you different. So in Sugar Land, Texas, a 74-year-old man actually died from COVID-19, okay? And they won't disclose whether he was vaccinated. His name is Pete Lopez.
Then he wasn't.
Yeah, if they won't say whether he's vaccinated, we just go ahead and say he wasn't. But they won't disclose whether he is vaccinated. He had been at the Memorial Hermann Hospital in Sugar Land, Texas, for almost a month battling COVID. And according to his family, he was put on a ventilator on August 19th. My Pookie left. She'll come back in. Okay. He was put on a ventilator on August 19th. So his family went to a judge, and a judge actually issued a court order saying that they needed to give him ivermectin. They needed to treat him with ivermectin. Mm-hmm. But the hospital refused to treat him with ivermectin. They refused to treat him with ivermectin, even though they were ordered by the judge. So that man died, and now they want to sue the hospital for not following the judge's order. And he had previously been prescribed ivermectin at the VA hospital. He was a veteran, but he didn't get a chance to get it because he took a downward turn and they had to send him over to a hospital where he could be on the vent. And that's how he got over at Memorial Hermann in Sugar Land. And he passed away with COVID, and they would not give him ivermectin, and now they claim that they're going to sue this hospital. So I would like to know your opinion, Pookie, on these judges that are not doctors prescribing, saying that these people can take ivermectin for COVID when it's been told by the FDA that it's not effective.
Are these some of the same judges that are, say, upholding this abortion ban in Texas, maybe? Are these judges that are saying, well, the state has the right to tell you what to do with your body? Are these some of the same judges? Because if they are, then that makes sense to me that they would try to step in and tell somebody what to do with their body over a doctor's opinion. It's astounding to me because these same people who are talking about ivermectin don't realize how desperate they look, and then correlate that. I'm gonna say something that's controversial. Correlate that to how desperate you'll make a woman if you take away her right to do whatever it is she feels she needs to do with her body. So you're telling me you don't see the correlation. You don't want to take the vaccine, you don't want to wear a mask, but you're so desperate to do something, you'll take a pesticide that'll strip the lining out of your intestines and have you actually pooping your lining out of your intestines. You'll be desperate enough to do that, but you don't understand that if you take away a woman's right for her body, she'll become desperate enough to do something too. That's dangerous for her. So I don't get how you don't see the correlation of that, you know. So that's
Correct.
and I'm sticking.
Yeah. Hey, you did good there, player. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I agree with you 100%. Fearless Queen, you got anything to add to that, babe?
I'm about sick to death of people who ain't never been to medical school practicing medicine. And I not only think it makes them liable, but I also think it's reckless and they should be sued. The judge that issued that order should absolutely be sued because he's practicing medicine without a license.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm done with the shenanigans. Strip him of his legal license, remove him from the bar. Adios, Carl. Better luck next time. Stop playing stupid games.
And y'all know this is not the first time this has been done. There was a case last week.
Mm-hmm.
There was a case last week that I covered on my Tickety Talk that a judge had actually ordered that they give this patient ivermectin, and the hospital is refusing to give him the ivermectin, but they want him to do it, so they're going to go ahead and do it. So I think that they started it. I got to go back and revisit that. So I really would be curious to see what comes out of that. These people think that these people that are taking this ivermectin, like we're going to pretend like Joe Rogan really had COVID, because for one thing, his ass ain't really had no COVID. I don't care what he say, he ain't really had it. And if he did have it, I ain't seen nobody with no COVID, even if they are vaccinated. I had a friend that's vaccinated and got COVID. She did not have a negative test 2 days fucking later. So let's pretend that he really did have COVID and he got well within 2 days after he done told everybody that he fucking took ivermectin. You know what I'm saying? That is feeding the mind of people. Oh, well, Joe Rogan, he got well after taking ivermectin. I'm going to go ahead and do that shit too. You know, this man got millions of followers. You know, he's got a podcast that millions of people listen to. And he got on there and told them that he took ivermectin, and then 2 days later, he doesn't have COVID any damn more. Now, it's some dumbass, gullible people that's really going to be thinking that he got magically healed by this prescription ivermectin. So I'm going to go over here to PetSmart, and I'm going to pick me up some ivermectin, and I'm going to put it in my ass, and I'm going to get well from COVID, just like he did. Child, I declare, what a disgrace.
I can't imagine anybody who's ever even had to do like a routine colonoscopy, when they understood what ivermectin does, would want to do that. Because, I mean, Go Lightly sort of does that a little bit too, but not at the same pace. He's problematic. Joe Rogan is problematic. Occasionally he'll say something that's not completely moronic, but he's just problematic in general. He's just a shock jock.
And shouldn't be taken seriously at all.
He doesn't have a medical license. Like, he hasn't been in medical school.
I threw everything but the kitchen sink at it. I highly doubt that sorry son of a bitch even had COVID.
We threw ivermectin. We threw everything at it. Shut up, Joe. Go back to the punching bag and doing kicks and doing MMA and telling jokes and running comedians off stage, because that's what you do best.
Exactly. Why don't these people understand that their voices, people will listen to them faster than they'll listen to a fucking health professional? They go, oh, well, Joe Rogan did it. He's good. I'm going to go and do the shit too. Just fucking stupid.
Are you saying people with a large platform should be more responsible about how they present what they present?
Absolutely. You hear me?
But I think Joe is fully knows. I think with Joe has a God complex, and he fully knows exactly.
We gonna digress on that one, Pookie. We gonna digress. Yes, child, I am. So I just think that people need to really watch the information that they're getting, and then I really want to see what the hell a judge is gonna do regarding all of this. What the judge is going to do whenever they try to sue the hospital for refusing to give this man ivermectin that likely wasn't going to help him in the first damn place. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just he's been on a ventilator for so long. It's only so much you can take on that shit, man. I watched my daughter on a ventilator for over 40 days, man. That shit takes a lot out of you, out of your freaking body. And honestly, I don't know how the hell she made it, man. That shit is horrible. I mean, you can end up being blind from being on a vent for so fucking long.
Right.
So, we'll see what comes out of the washing and the righteous, honey. But I must say, a fucking disgrace to me. So we're going to move on here, and we're going to go ahead and talk about, we got to get to this, guys. This is very important to me to get to it, and I want to talk to my Californians. I don't know if there's any Californians in here, but I need to holler at y'all for a second, because if y'all haven't turned in y'all mail-in ballot, you need to make sure you turned in your damn mail-in ballot, okay? You need to vote no on this California recall, because y'all got some buffoons on this ballot, and this ain't what you want, okay? Y'all need to do the right thing and go ahead and keep Gavin Newsom, because Gavin Newsom has done some really good things for California. Now, I'm not saying he hadn't fucked up in some of that shit that he did. And like I tell y'all all the time, players fuck up. But at the end of the day, we got to look at the overall and the overall picture of this. So this recall is going on September the 14th. They're going to vote on this, and it's going to be just like a regular election. On this ballot, you're going to have on here, you're going to have, do you vote for this recall? And then you're going to have an option at the bottom to pick who you want to replace. And right now we got people like Caitlyn Jenner, Larry Elder is the two biggest ones that I just want to talk about. Okay, is Larry Elder and Caitlyn Jenner is on the ballot. So I want y'all to take a look at this Larry Elder guy, and I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about him. And here we go. Oh shit, that's the one we got his ass beat. What I do with it, y'all? Y'all, he got beat up.
Let me got beat now. Come on now, don't hold out.
I'm gonna play that one after this one. Okay. So I'm gonna play that one after this. That's another reason why I wanted to get to this, because they was throwing eggs at his ass and shit down there. He tried to go. Y'all, was a man out there with a mask on and everything. Just give me one minute. Hold on, here you go.
During slavery, a black kid was more likely to be born under a roof with his biological mother and biological father than today. That's the problem.
I've told you that the minimum wage has racist origins.
The Democrats' refusal to even consider the privatization of Social Security.
It is outrageous that the Democrats believe that Donald Trump is a racist.
This is Larry Elder, a right-wing radio host and regular Fox News commentator with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Sound familiar?
You could be a kind of drain the swamp governor. A bit of Trumpian philosophy comes to Sacramento.
On September 14th, Californians will vote in a Republican-led recall election to oust Governor Gavin Newsom. And right now, Larry Elder is leading the pack of contenders to replace him. With polls tightening, Elder could very well be elected if a majority of voters don't oppose the recall of the governor.
Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom faces a recall election.
Organizers say they've submitted over 2 million signatures supporting a move to oust him.
So who is Larry Elder, and what does he believe? Larry Elder has called Roe v. Wade one of the worst decisions that the Supreme Court ever handed down, and threatened to fire thousands of public school teachers if he's elected. He also opposes the minimum wage.
Regarding the minimum wage, the correct minimum wage ought to be zero.
How do you think California voters currently earning the minimum wage would react to that?
Well, given the indoctrination that people have about the minimum wage, they probably would react to it well.
And when it comes to the environment, Elder all but denies that climate change is responsible for the massive fires that rage across California every year.
Because of the stranglehold the environmentalists have had on Sacramento for the last 20 or 30 years, anti-growth, 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 anti-oil and gas, anti-water.
To believe that fires, for instance, in California have gotten worse because of climate change.
I'm not sure it's because of climate change. Fires have gotten worse because of the failure of this governor.
So there's Larry Elder and what he believes. So if you do not turn in your mail-in ballot or you do not go and vote, every registered voter in California received a mail-in ballot. If you do not, go ahead and turn it in now. If you haven't turned it in, and vote no, because you need to keep Gavin Newsom. You know, he's going to turn California into a fucking shit show. Mm-hmm. And I want to show y'all this little clip of this shit show that happened to him on the streets while he was out there trying to push his agenda.
Touch me again. Don't touch me again. Don't touch him. I'll pop him in the motherfucker nose. I'll fuck you up and grab you. Will you? You grab our ass, motherfucker. You're the devil boy. Maria, what the hell? Hey! Fuck with me, boy. You get that sorry piece of shit out of here. Hey, Michael, stop. Get that piece of shit out of here. You gotta bring that bitch out of this motherfucker out here.
Y'all heard that, man? Why you bring that sorry motherfucker down?
There you go, Karen. Weaponize your whiteness. Do it.
I fucking loved it. I said they don't want. He must have been on the south side. I never did find out what the hell he was at.
Look, they were deep on him too, boy.
Baby, they came in droves. They had their mask on. They was ready to do some damage. Did y'all see? Y'all probably couldn't fall see it that good because that was blurred. But they was throwing eggs. Yeah. They was throwing raw eggs, y'all. I'm dead. So that happened, and I would love to know y'all heard the video. Just give me your opinion on this recall effort, and I can't even talk. I'm so tickled. And Gavin Newsom and Larry Elder. Pookie, you go first.
Oh my gosh, Will Smith made a song. It's one of his less popular songs. You probably have never heard of it. It's called "He's a Nice Guy," and in that song, Will Smith goes on and calls out a whole bunch of different people that he feel like dissed him. You know, Eminem and Wendy Williams. But one of the names in that song is Larry Elder. And he told Larry Elder, tells him to shut up. You don't know me. You know, and that's the deal. Larry Elder does not know the people that he is skinfolk to. He doesn't know us. He has been so detached from Black reality that he feels like he can just say and do whatever he wants, to contrary to his culture. He got that OJ syndrome. In fact, he looked like OJ. He probably says, I ain't Black, I'm Larry, you know? because any man that could get up there and advocate for slave owners getting reparations before enslaved people get reparations, you got nothing to say to me. You can't lead. You're already biased. You already came out the gate the wrong way, Larry. But Larry's been that way since forever, since he was on TV. But wasn't he like on a judge, like didn't he have a court TV show at one time?
I don't know that cat. I don't know who he is. I don't even know that asswipe. All I know is I don't want to know him. So keep him from governor's status, so I don't have to report on him. I want him to be gone from my view when September 14th get here. Let them this recall effort. We're gonna find out immediately. It's gonna be just like the election. Fearless, you got anything to add to that, my babe?
He's giving me strong Candace Owen vibes, but what I would say about that is that man is not interested in leading Californians.
No.
He's not interested in leading. He has no interest in anything that applies to y'all. He is interested in being salacious and being controversial. That is not what you want.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Agreed. 1,000%.
So when I come back for political tea talk on Friday, I want to be able to say that Gavin Newsom is still the governor of California. So if you are from California or you know someone in California, make sure you encourage them to go ahead and get in their mail-in ballot. If they can't do that, make sure they show up and vote. Make sure we go ahead and rock that and vote no on this recall effort of Gavin Newsom. Honestly, it's Republican-led and it's not warranted. I mean, he did some fuck-ups, in handling COVID, but I feel like a lot of the things that Gavin has done since then, I mean, come on, he had a $38 billion fucking surplus during a pandemic. Mm-hmm. And not only did he have a surplus, but he took that money and put it to good use by giving additional stimulus checks to low-income families. They just mailed out their second batch of those last week. And then he also created one of the very first universal school lunch programs. Every student in public school in the state of California will receive a free lunch. Do you not understand how important that is? Because school lunch sometimes for some children is the only meal they get in the day, or it's their only balanced meal that they get in a day. So we need to think about those type of things. Gavin Newsom actually is trying to work for California and do the right thing and help people through COVID. I mean, he player fucked up. He went out to eat at an expensive restaurant, even though the other restaurants was closed down. I mean, during the pandemic, I went out and, I went out to eat dinner. I would have never told y'all that at the time. I didn't, because y'all were finna get on my ass, but hey, I did do it. So, you know what I'm saying? I kind of kept that on the low. Y'all like, Tiffany, where you been? I ain't want to tell y'all I had been out to Posados and I had Exactly. So, players fuck up. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, go ahead and vote no on that recall. Gavin Newsom is good for California. And you don't need Larry Elder, and you damn sure don't need the hypocrisy of Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, she is a walking disaster. I'm sorry.
She never showed leadership in anything. Zero leadership skills there. I don't even understand.
Not even in her own damn family. I mean, Kris Jenner led the family. I mean, that's the reason why it's a shit show. But I digress. So we're gonna button that up right there, and we're gonna move on to the last subject. If you have any questions regarding anything we talked about, if you just want to hear Pookie say, "Hey, good morning, goddammit, it's the shooter," put that in the comments so that way he can do it, and I don't seem like a fangirl by asking him to do it myself. So y'all put that in the comments for me. Put that in the comments, y'all, if y'all want to hear that. And then, we're gonna talk about this last thing, which is the Justice for J6 rally. And the Justice for J6 rally that's going to be happening on September the 18th at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Y'all, I'm concerned.
Why are they even allowed to be allowed? Why is that even allowed?
You can't stop them.
Domestic terrorists.
You can't stop them. You can't stop them because it's their right to. It's their peaceful right to peacefully protest. So what's going on is some guy his name was Breland something. He actually organized this, and there's supposed to be about 500 people that are interested in that are coming, and some of them are Proud Boys, and some of them are Oath Keepers, and they're supposed to be showing up to this, and they're going to be protesting they're going to be supporting the insurrectionists that are charged in the Capitol riots. They said that they had this event already underway, but the interest in it started increasing after the officer who bang Ashley Babbitt went publicly with their identity in their recent interview. So with Lester Holt, they're saying that the Capitol Police are aware of this. They actually issued a memo outlining their safety, what they plan to do as far as safety is concerned. And Nancy Pelosi was asked about this. She was a little tight-lipped, but I'll let you guys hear what she had to say.
Security, have you been briefed at all on the Justice for J6 rally that's planned for September 18th? And if so, are you concerned that this could be a replication of January 6th?
Well, there are some briefings going on at the appropriate level to the Committee of Jurisdiction in our House, which is House Administration, and then we will be briefed after that. I'll have an announcement about that, but I don't want to say it right here because it involves other people in terms of briefing and knowledge of what is going on. But I thank you for your question.
Are you planning to re-erect the fence, reinstall the fence? Do you have a view on that?
No. Well, we intend to have the integrity of the Capitol be intact. I'm not going into any specifics in that regard. Let me just say, and I appreciate your question, because what happened on January 6th was such an assault on this beautiful Capitol, a Capitol under the dome that Lincoln built during the Civil War. President Lincoln, when they told him you shouldn't spend the steel and the whatever else, the materials, on a dome when we're fighting a war, and he said, no, we must show our strength and we must show that we can move forward at the same time as we protect our union.
So that's what she had to say. So that's what she had to say. She didn't want to say whether they're going to put the fencing back up, but the Capitol Police formally asked to put up temporary fencing around the complex before the rally because they want to be prepared. So, Pookie Bear, take it away, hon.
What I heard was try it if you want to. That's what I heard. I heard try it if you want to. We ain't gonna tell you what we're gonna do, but you can try that January 6th if you want to. This time we got a president that will enact the National Guard immediately. And no, bruh, try it if you want to. I hope they do. I hope they do. Try it. I want to see it. I'm gonna be watching my TV, eat my popcorn. Try it. They gonna get some Black Lives Matter treatment that day. I
hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, honest to God, give them just a little fraction of it, because I'm about sick to death of these entitled assholes. That it's nothing but an adult temper tantrum, and I'm about sick of it. Stop pissing on me and telling me it's raining. They should treat every one of these as if it is going to be another January the 6th, because eventually it is, because these morons have not piped down. They're continuing to simmer. And I just want to see I want to see just half the energy that they've given to every BLM event in the history of ever shown to these domestic terrorists. Because that's what they are. Let's stop calling them patriots. They're domestic terrorists who tried to overthrow the nation because their boy didn't win.
Exactly.
Period.
It's the privilege for me, because how you go to the place where the insurrectionists destroyed the Capitol and put feces on the damn wall to protest that they shouldn't be in jail for destroying the damn Capitol. I just don't understand that. Go protest at the jail. Why you protesting outside the Capitol where they actually committed the damn crimes? Right. It just doesn't make sense to me. Child,
that's the white man's burden. That's the white man's burden.
Exactly. And if you out there in Washington, don't go out there and try to stop them. Let them do what the fuck they got to do. If they want to act a fool, let them do it, honey. You it ain't got nothing to do with you. Let them do it. You ain't got to go out there and stop them, baby. Let the Capitol Police and Metropolitan Police and Nancy Pelosi and them actually handle these people like they were supposed to handle their asses on January 6th. Let them do that. Exactly. So, you got anything else to add to that, Pook?
I'm good.
Melissa, anything?
I'm good.
She's asking, did Frumpy Dump? He did, but they got to enact that in court. I forgot what the number is, baby, but I remember when that happened, and I know exactly what you're talking about. They got to enact that in court. So here it is, Pookie. Go ahead and hit that up real quick before we get on off. Come on, Pook.
Good evening, goddammit. It's the shooter. Let's do it.
I love it.
I love that. I love it. Absolutely love it. You guys, make sure you go and follow Pookie and the Fearless Queen. I really appreciate them coming on again, and it's always a good time when y'all come on. And you look, every time y'all come on, y'all might as well just get ready to be coupled together because we all just I just love this vibe. It's just a nice vibe between our three of us. Y'all just do so wonderful.
I make up on like she got on. Next time.
Right.
Listen, I'll hook you up. Don't play with me, boy. I will fix it for you. Trust me. I will slay that whole face.
I love it. I love it.
My husband, I've dressed him up for, ironically, a church Halloween party, and he won.
I bet he did.
Wow.
He was also lit on by several men there, and that was interesting. But it was fun. It was fun. He won. You would be so beautiful. Don't play with me.
I love it here. You guys, this is the portion of the show where I do what I got to do. Help me improve my broadcast and also tip my lovely guests by Venmoing Doubledeemuva85 and also Cash Apping Tiffany C. Jones 85 if you want me to give these lovely people a nice tip for being here with me. I really appreciate them and I really want to tip them real good. So y'all make sure y'all help me out and also you can help me improve my broadcast. Again, Venmo at Doubledeemuva85, Cash App Tiffany C. Jones 85. And also, I will let you guys know that I have a brand new podcast. I announced this, and this podcast is available on Apple and Spotify. It is called The Real Tea with Double D. There's about 6 episodes, so if you are not following that, make sure you go and support that. I really appreciate it. And I also got a brand new thing that's coming up, and I'm going to announce it here because I'm so excited about it. I'm going to be on a radio show where I'll be doing a segment with a great guy named Terry, and it's going to be called You Can't Make This Shit Up. So we're going to be talking some crazy news stories. We're going to be talking about, some things that go down that we literally can't make this shit up. And honestly, with all the shit going on right now, there's going to be a lot of content. So I'm going to tell you guys where you'll be able to find that once I get that started. Okay. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for joining me. Remember to like the video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Thank you, Pookie Bear and Fearless Queen. I really appreciate y'all for coming on. And I'll be having y'all back in about 2 weeks. So y'all might as well be ready. Love y'all so much.
Love y'all.
Bye. Y'all have a good evening. Thank y'all for joining. Hey, players. It's time for another riveting episode of Playing Stupid Games. How long are we supposed to